It started as an ordinary day at Brookfield High, until whispers turned into laughter and laughter into cruelty. Two black twins, Miles and Maya, walked into a hallway lined with hate disguised as jokes. The bullies thought they'd found easy targets. What they didn't know was that these two had trained for years, not just in martial arts but also in resilience. Behind those calm eyes lay a strength born from years of being underestimated. What happens when victims stop running and finally stand their ground? Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Miles and Maya Carter were known for their quiet confidence. They'd moved to the suburbs with their single mother, who wanted a safer environment and better schools. But the new beginning wasn't what she'd hoped for. The twins quickly noticed the stares, the unspoken reminder that they were different. At first, they ignored it, focusing on their studies and early morning karate practices that had once earned them a national gold medal at the age of 7. Their sensei had taught them discipline, not aggression. But discipline couldn't erase racism. It couldn't silence the locker room taunts or the cafeteria whispers. Every day they endured, until one Friday afternoon the bullying crossed a line. That day would test everything they'd learned. Not about fighting, but about strength, dignity, and knowing when to rise. It started with a rumor, cruel, fabricated, and spread like wildfire. Someone had edited a photo of the twins, mocking their skin and calling them names too painful to repeat. By lunchtime, the picture had reached every phone in school. Maya's eyes burned as she saw it. Her brother's jaw clenched in silence. The group of bullies, led by a tall boy from the football team, laughed loud enough for everyone to hear. Their words weren't just insults. They were weapons meant to strip the twins of pride. When Miles reported it, the principal brushed it aside as teen drama. That's when something inside him cracked. They had been taught to rise above, to ignore hate. But ignorance had limits. Later that week, the same bullies cornered Maya behind the gym after class. They threw her bag to the ground, taunting her for her hair, her skin, her confidence. Miles arrived seconds later, heart pounding. The bullies smirked, thinking this would be easy. But as they stepped closer, something shifted. Miles took a slow breath, the same calm inhale his sensei taught him before every match. Maya mirrored his stance. The twins exchanged a silent nod. They didn't want violence. They wanted respect. But the bullies had already made their choice. And soon, they would learn a lesson they'd never forget. The first shove came from the leader, arrogant, careless. In a blur, Miles sidestepped, redirecting the motion with effortless precision. The bully hit the ground, breathless and stunned. Another swung at Maya. She ducked, spun, and used his own weight against him. The crowd that had gathered gasped. This wasn't a fight. It was control, discipline, and years of training unleashed with grace. Within seconds, the bullies stumbled back, humiliated and shocked. The whispers in the hallway gave way to stunned silence. For once, the laughter had stopped. The principal arrived moments later, staring at the fallen boys, speechless. The twins hadn't attacked. They had defended. And in that moment, every rumor, every insult, every smirk lost its power. The video spread faster than the rumor ever had. Within hours, social media was flooded, not with mockery, but admiration. Comments poured in about courage, dignity, and standing tall in the face of hate. What had begun as an act of cruelty turned into a lesson in strength. The bullies faced suspension, but their punishment wasn't the real justice. The real change came in the hallways, in the glances that turned into respect, in the voices that finally spoke up against racism. Miles and Maya didn't celebrate. They knew this victory wasn't about fighting back. It was about being seen for who they truly were. For too long, they'd been reduced to stereotypes and whispers. Now they were symbols of something greater, quiet power, earned respect, and the courage to rise above hate without becoming it. Their mother watched the video with tears in her eyes, not because they fought, but because they proved that strength could exist without hate. And as the twins walked through the school the next morning, heads held high, no one dared whisper, not because they were feared, but because they were finally understood. In a world that often mistakes kindness for weakness, the Carter twins reminded everyone that true strength lies in restraint, discipline, and dignity. How many more young souls must endure cruelty before the world learns to see beyond color? Which country and city are you watching from? Take care.